How you doing? This is Brotha T. If you want to support the channel, we have t-shirts and other merch right there in the description. Just hit the link.
You were a star child, let your light shine for all the world. When you open your mouth to reveal a pearl, let it shine more, just to light the path. If it don't add up, man, just do the math. If it ain't for you, let it pass on through.
How you doing? This is Terry Wilson, aka yo boy Brotha T, here with another one. So we like to call this channel T's Life Tree, and on this channel we like to give you little pine cones of wisdom. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. Now today's episode is gonna be a hot one, but before we get into any of that, I need you to do me a big fat favor. I need you to take your big fat finger and hit subscribe. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to talk about you. Take your nice, beautiful finger and hit that subscribe button. Also, I want you to hit that like button, because when you hit the like button or subscribe button, and or both, right? Hit both of them. We can continue to give you these pine cones of wisdom, because we know you love these pine cones of wisdom. So today is the next episode in our fill in the blank, ruined the relationship series. So today we're going to talk about how your mother ruined the relationship. So this is not an attack on motherhood, okay? I'm just trying to point out some things that have affected us in relationships and how we see them. So one of the influences that we have on our relationship is our mother, and that's guys and girls, right? But in kind of different ways sometimes, because if I'm talking to the Zennials and the Millennials, right? You have Generation X, you have the baby boomers. Those are the older generations, right? I'm in Generation X. I'm getting close to the end. I just gave my age, dang it. But you get what I'm saying? And then the baby boomers, those were the generation before me. Now, starting from the baby boomers, they had certain things that influenced the way they thought, and those influences filtered down to us in Generation X, and then we handed that same poison to the millennials, right? And that's how it works. And then the Zennials. So let's take a little bit of a look at it. We're not gonna detail it, but we're just gonna hammer home some very general things that happen, right? So what could have affected your mother giving you bad advice in relationship? How can a mother ruin a relationship? First of all, she can give bad advice based on her personal experiences, especially with men, right? If her father wasn't in the home, or if he was a bad father, or if she had bad guys in the family that did bad things, right? And that was her experience with manhood. It could very well affect the way she raises her boys and the advice she gives to her daughter. She might tell her daughter, hey, focus on your career. Make sure you get all your money. Make sure you get this. Make sure you don't depend on no man. Make sure this and that, this and that, this and that. I'm not trashing the idea of that. Now, she means well, but I think that's a very dangerous thing to tell a young woman, and I'll explain why. Because when you tell a young woman that, and she goes off to college, she still has that in her mind. Especially if you tell her to go ahead and have fun, girl. This is your time to have fun, and don't worry about it. When you get everything set and you have everything later, then you can get married. But have all this fun first. Now, I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying don't have fun at college, but you can really, make some decisions that could very well negatively impact you later during those years. What do I mean by this? Let's say you go off to college, in the back of your mind you have your mother's advice of, girl, just get your career, get this and that. Now you're so focused on that you're not focused on making real connections. There could be a guy that's perfect for you, your compatible mate, right there in college. And I'm not saying you're gonna meet him and you should get married tomorrow, but you can make that connection and you can grow together. That's what I'm saying. But if you have that advice in the back of your head and you're so focused on that, then you will either ignore that guy or push him away based on that advice. And let's fast forward in the future. You'll get to a point where you have this great career. You're making all this money. You're living in this big, nice house. You have big, expensive things, and you can buy whatever you want, but you have no one to share it with, no one to make a connection with. You look for that same guy that you made that you thought that you could have made that connection to in college, and now he's married with 3 kids. And forget about it if you're a sister and he ends up marrying a white person and they have 3 kids. That's a whole different story. I'm not going there, but you get what I'm saying, because you were focused on the wrong thing based on that bad advice. All right, so if we flip it, juxtapose, and we have the guys, what's bad advice that a mother can give to a young man? I wouldn't look at it as advice necessarily, but they could train their young boys in the wrong way. What do I mean by this? If they don't have a fatherly influence or a male influence in their lives, then they can be over codified to the point where they'll be more effeminate and not even realize it, right? And they can have little feminine traits. When I say feminine traits, it doesn't have to be outwardly, doesn't have to be flamboyant is what I'm saying, but you can see certain traits within them, and that stuff can flourish if they're sitting in a single parent home with a mother, especially if she over codified, if she coddles them too much. Couldn't get the word out. She can really ruin him too, because when he gets older and it's time to step into your manhood, step into your purpose, your destiny, you'll be afraid to, or either you'll look for another woman to be your mother or to take your place of your mother. Now, what else could influence your mother to ruin the relationship? Now, there's certain buzzwords on YouTube that we can't say. We'll get flagged. They'll pull the videos down. Sometimes it's a strike on your channel. You get too many of those, they take the channel off. Now, we'll just say the femme movement. I think you know what I'm saying, all right? So I'm not going to say the word. Maybe I'll display it there. So now I want to be clear. The femme movement has brought good things and bad things, very bad things in my opinion. So what are some of the good things? You know, throughout the years, especially you had two big movements with the femme movement. So the right to vote, women's right to vote, women's lib period, right? I'm for that. You know, the right to have a career, even to be a working mom. That all that stuff were good things that came off the feminist movement. How about some of the negative that came from that? Some of the negative is that the femme movement actually convinced women that they don't need men. Actually, the opposite is true. We need each other. We just need each other for different things. Nobody should be totally independent. At the same time, you shouldn't be codependent. What you should be, this is both sides, men and women, you should be interdependent, right? We both should be able to count on each other in different ways. We're supposed to come together, form one unit so we can live a better life together as one, right? That's in the perfect world. That's what it is in the perfect world. But we all know the world isn't perfect. So now we have all these hurdles and stuff we have to jump. And the femme movement did not help in that, right? Because they convinced a lot of women of all shades that you don't really need a man. You don't need a man. You can do anything a man can do. Also a lie. I'm not saying men are better. I'm not saying women are better or not as good. What I'm saying is we both have our strengths. There are things that women are going to do as a whole. We're talking in general. There's always an exception. But in general, there are things that women can do in general that men won't be good at, won't be as good at, and vice versa. There are things that men can do that women won't be as good at. That's not sexist. That's not sexist at all. And I'll give you an example. If we're swinging big 60, 70 pound hammers around, or I used to be a cable guy and we used to carry a 150 pound ladder, women not going to be as good as a man in general doing that. It's just a fact. I'm not being sexist saying that. It's just a fact. So whenever we had women technicians, they had a lighter ladder. Okay? You get what I'm saying? So it's not sexist. I didn't mind as long as they did the job, as long as they didn't take away from my job. I don't care. You know what I mean? But I liked having the bigger ladder because I felt like I was working out when I, you know. So that's one of the things. And then on the vice versa, women are a little more social than guys are usually. So you're going to find that a lot more women are going to have popping Instagram pages, right? Now, I'm not saying guys can't have a popping Instagram, but it's not really as much, right? We're not as good at that because women are better at being social than guys are in general. Like I said, some guys are going to be good at it. There's always exceptions to the rule. Now, I went through all of that just to explain it, just so you know that I'm not coming from a place of not liking women or thinking men are this and all that. That's not where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a place of love. I want us to be able to be with each other and form strong bonds and form strong unions together. That is my ultimate goal, right? So let's take your advice from your mother, whether you're a man or a woman, and live your life. Don't necessarily listen to everything they're saying, especially if you know it's going to work and cause harm. Because what's going to happen to these young ladies that listen to that advice, sometimes what happens, and there's some generation Xers that are really going through this, they'll get older and then, you know, like I said, they'll be sitting there with that great job, all that money, and all of a sudden time is running out. Because let's be honest, especially when you're a lady, you don't get as much attention at 20 than you do at 60. This is a fact. So as this attention is going down and you're losing attention, it's not the same. Now at 60, you're not just gonna run out and just grab a man off the man tree. Like, it's not like going to Home Depot and and getting a garden tool or something. It's like, yeah, I'll just take one now. I think I'm ready for that now. Yeah, I'm just settled down now. That's not how it works. Not how it works. So when you're younger, you want to build some of those connections. Like I said, we're not saying that you have to get married right away or anything like that. Just don't put it off and don't ignore it, because you could be ignoring the best thing that ever happened to you. And that's on both sides. So this is being your man, Brotha T. I hope you didn't think I was trying to disrespect your mother in any way. I'm not. I'm just trying to get us to a point where we make better decisions for ourselves. And we have to be conscious that sometimes people, when they try to give us advice, they're coming from a place of being hurt, or they're coming from a place of bad advice. They're coming from a place of just a terrible worldview, and they just don't know, right? You'll do better if you knew better, or if you know better, you'll do better. You know what I'm trying to say. I always mess quotes up. The only quotes I don't mess up are my own, right? So forgive me for that. This has been your man, Brotha T, and I enjoyed you stopping through. Let me take this second just to let you know, if you're sitting here, you're looking at my program, especially if you're watching it all the way through, I know you rock with me, and I rock with you too. If you stay on this channel, one thing I can guarantee you, I can't guarantee a lot, but one thing I can guarantee is that your life will improve in some kind of way. I don't know what it is. It might be very, very, very small. I might say something on one episode for 3 seconds that can change the whole trajectory and the course of your life and your kids' lives. I don't know. That's what I'm here for. I'm trying to start a movement, and once we get that movement started, it's just going to swell and it's going to be unstoppable, and we're going to make this world a better place, a better world to live in. It's not going to be perfect, because as long as human beings are human, we're not going to be perfect, but we can make it better. I believe in this, and if you believe in this, follow me on this journey. This has been your man, Brotha T, and I thank you for stopping through. I was supposed to wrap up 3 minutes ago, right? Let me get out of here. Peace.